Yep.
There it is.
Well, what is it? Monday? Today's Monday, right? Good
Correct.
Monday. Good Monday evening, everybody. My name is Manny Vitale, and welcome to Manny Vitale's Wolf Pack. And as you can see, we have the one, the only, the OG GABYRNBSN, uh,
MSA
uh,
SANE. I put
MO,
because you.
MO, MOUSE. And
Man, I wish I was part of Disney.
that's the admin Lynne, who all of you know
Have,
and love and adore. She is not in the studio.
nope.
She has been in good behavior, so she is allowed to make a call. So she is now, hopefully, will be out on bail by tomorrow.
Yeah, they let me out of my cell. Yep.
Yeah, But anyways, figured, you know what? This is actually a first. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the first show with you out there and wherever land over at another location and me here
Mm-hmm.
and doing Manny Vitale's Wolfpack. So it's
Yes.
a first.
Yay. Yay.
Woo!
Woo.
So, no, man, it is actually kind of neat, screwing around and making fun, making light. And it is fun and it should be fun, but
Well,
it
you've been thinking
actually,
about this for the longest. I mean, you
yeah,
really have.
we've been talking about this for a long time. Um, and the last thing I ever want people to think is, well, you're talking about this more than you're talking about my fight or war, and you're talking, like people just love to hate and start shit. So to those people, I just say, what?
Shake it
So
off. Let it go.
no, man. So it's just that'll be something to add to another topic. So I appreciate it. All
Yeah.
the haters, bring it on, man.
Well, that's you
And
and your controversy comment.
yeah, you know what? In the past, in my crazy ass days, controversy meant, slamming a beer, a shot, and a punch in the face. And
Mm,
now it's a controversy is, controversy is a beautiful thing because it brings about conversation. It brings
there
about
you go.
ideas and
Mm-hmm.
comments, and and it doesn't mean it don't get heated. And you can be angry, you can be upset, you can have an argument within, with it under control, not a damn fight and scream and yelling match like a bunch of morons like I always did. But now it's more of it's a discussion, and so that's what we want. And
Well, you're not going to learn anything if you just talk to people who have the exact same opinion as you. You got to have some different opinions to, because maybe they can give you some enlightenment. Oh, I
yeah,
never thought of it like that. Oh, very interesting. Okay, I still believe what I believe, but nice to hear your opinion because now I can see where other people could see, have this other view. And, that's okay. That's what makes the
yeah,
world go round. Otherwise, it'd be boring.
and it doesn't mean that you're right, I'm wrong, you're right. Doesn't mean that at
Hmm.
all. And we might have this hour-long conversation back and forth with a shitload of comments going back and forth. And at the very end, when we have a recap of everything, you still may feel 100% the way you did,
Hmm.
and I may feel 100% on the way I did, but we may have different, thoughts and ideas about that discussion. That what, as far as this and this, I'm looking at that a little bit differently, but I still
Hmm.
very, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
I'm not here, to change anyone's mind. You're not, that's, with
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
with Manny Vitale's Wolfpack and with My Fight Our War, we're not here to tell you what to do. You know that. We're here to, well, first of all, let's jump over to My Fight or War. We're not
Mm-hmm.
here to tell you do it this way because that's the only way that you're going to recover. No, man. What we're doing is everyone tells their story of recovery, what worked for them, and offer opinions and stuff like that.
You know
You
what's
know,
really good? I'm going to jump on your Sunday, where you have the different people that have had different frames of reference in their lives, and some of them are so intense and so amazing. And to listen to those, so other people who are in recovery might be saying, "Whoa, they really went through a lot. Maybe my life isn't so bad, and I can start to take control." Or they can reach out to them because those are fascinating talks. Some of those guys and girls are amazing. Their life has been
yeah,
incredible. The fact that they're still alive is a testament to their strength.
yeah, and not only that, but just like you just said too, and that kind of rolls over onto something else where some people, have been part of My Fight Our War since the
Mm-hmm.
beginning and have never done a video, never told their story. And they've been
Mm-hmm.
like an original member since day one. And that's okay. Every now and then you'll see, because you see the same names pop up and
Mm-hmm.
adding a comment here and there, and then adding to the conversation. Whereas before, I would notice people popping up with their names, like for comment section and all that, and maybe put a thumbs up or a
Yep.
heart. You know what? They're engaging. Whereas
Yep.
before you would see their name or something like that and nothing. And now all of a sudden you're slowly getting their confidence. You're slowly getting where they feel that trust. And that's good. It's a slow process. So they got that going on. And then all of a sudden they start throwing in comments. So,
But even with that, I have discovered as I'm talking to people, oh yeah, I like watching your, let's say, the exercise videos, or I watch, who's that guy that's on the video with you, and it's like, oh no, he's the owner of the video. I'm just tagging along. But I mean, but they don't say anything. They never say anything, but they say something if I see them in person, or they text me because they're friends of mine. How many people watch and never say anything? So you never realize how many people you're reaching. You are
yeah. And
reaching many more people, helping many more people than you could ever imagine.
And that's the wonderful thing
It's
about
great.
this. And, well, the other day, I mean, you sit there and you've talked about some of your nursing friends who,
Mhm.
I don't know, and we'll be in conversation talking, and then all of a sudden, someone will, or you'll say, "Oh yeah, I was at work, and uh, so and so's following you." Like, "Oh, I saw Manny," or "How's he doing?" and all that, and like
Mhm.
they know me. It's just because it,
Exactly. I That
yeah,
tickles me because the one I I told you about Diane. She says, "Yeah, and how's Manny doing?" I'm going, "Do you know him?" You know? "Oh, from the videos." Okay. But she used your name so comfortably, like we'd been together, sitting at a restaurant having coffee or something. So it's interesting how close people feel
yeah.
sitting watching you on the video.
And the thing is, too, that reminds me. I don't know if you remember, if I even told you, if we did talk about it, about some of the friends of mine that were, on the radio and social media as their jobs, like the Minsky and Doyle show with Beaver
Yep.
and Rudy and those guys. They're real good friends of mine that I've known, for years. So I actually knew them originally from listening to them on air,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
just by coincidence, here I was a fan, and I'm
Yep.
listening to them. And they had a segment, and they were talking about working out and all that. And the producer of the show, he goes on the show. There is Beaver, but his name is Bill Tortorella, and he was the producer of the show. And he was into fitness and working out. And he said he was talking about working out and how this guy was giving him these pointers as far as exercise and working out and doing this, this, and this. And as I'm listening, as a listener, just in my car, I was in my truck, I
Yep.
think driving maybe home from work or something. I'm listening to this, and I'm like, man, this dude doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, And that's the thing too, man. You get
Uh-huh.
people at the gym who, oh, I've been training for 20 years. Well, yeah, you've been screwing up and doing everything wrong for 20 years, and think you're doing it right, and you could hurt somebody, man.
Mhm.
I did go through training as I got certified as a trainer through the U.S. Olympic
Mhm.
Committee, man, as a certified trainer. And so
Mhm.
you do these things and you reach out to help people. So I'm sitting there listening to the radio and I'm listening to him talking about, yeah, he said I needed to do this, 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 and this. Well, after a while, I was like, I can't, so I don't know any of them. They just said, you could send in a text or an email. So I sent one in and I said, listen, man, you don't know me. My name is Manny Vitale, blah, blah, blah. I'm a trainer and this and that. Just, I said, I heard a segment that you on your show. And I said, I'm not trying to step on toes, man, but if you do what this dude's telling you, you could possibly seriously injure yourself. And I gave some
Mhm.
other suggestions. And after I sent it to him, I didn't know this, but he Googled the stuff that the guy said and what I said. And I said, if you ever have any questions or something like that, I don't know what area you're in, but I was training at the old powerhouse over here on Shane and Hall. And I said, here's my number. And it's like a day or so later, I get this phone call. And I didn't know the number. I was at work, and it's a message. And it says, hey, Manny, this is Bieber from the Dominski and Doyle show. I got
Whoa.
your message about working out, and after your message, I googled some of the stuff that you said compared to what he said, and you were right on. And I'm actually in that same area. Could we possibly meet up and so and you could show me some stuff, have a few training sessions. And I'm like, sure. So we meet up at the gym and just met and just clicked. We had great guy. It just like had a lot of fun. And this is of course back in my crazy drinking days. And so we're sitting there bullshitting and having a great time. So here I put him through a program and he loved it. And he goes, would you mind training together? So we started working out
Wow.
together. And next thing you know, he's like, come on into the studio. I think it was on like Greenfield or somewhere, the old studio. And so I went in and I got to meet Dominski and Doyle and Rudy and all of them and got to be friends. And through all this, here for years, I'm listening to them on the radio. And then it's like that funny thing that, they got a face for a radio because, you hear them, but unless you Google them, you don't know what they look like.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden here I walk into the studio and there they are. And it's just like, huh, that's you, huh? Man, you look different. And Dominski looked just like Steve Buscemi. It was funny as hell, man. And he goes, everyone says that. And but after the conversation, back to what you were saying about how people that you've never met, they listen to they watch the shows, and it's like they almost know you. And that's how it was with these guys. I listened to them every day from 3 to 7. And
are they still on the radio?
No, now it's a sports talk radio, which I listen to at
Okay, yeah,
97.1.
all right.
So I'm gonna have to get a hold of those guys now.
Yeah.
But so talking to them, and I remember being at one of their promo parties, and these people are coming up, and they're talking to them, and this one, I remember these people were just talking and almost like offended that they didn't. They're like, I'm so and so. I called in all the time. Remember me? And they're like, well, you don't remember me? It's like, dude. And so it is kind of neat, but kind of weird because I've had people message me or leave a message, and it's almost like they're old buddies from way back, and it's very nice, but it's kind of a little strange because I'm not used to stuff like this. But
well, I've noticed some people even on podcasts, different podcasts, talk about you as my friend Manny. It's like we've never met, we've never talked.
never, yeah, I've had.
Okay, I'm glad that you feel close enough to me to call
That
me your friend.
was I
Yep.
was sitting there, and I remember I told you about that. I'm sitting there watching another show, and this person was like, yeah, I was watching this one show with my good buddy, with my good friend Manny Vitale, and I was just like, who are you? I don't even know who you are.
Is there
So
another Manny Vitale? No, I
yeah,
don't think
I
so.
mean,
No, there's only one.
but
Only one.
it is neat, and it's like you do get to reach out and touch people, and that's exactly what I want us to do. Like that's what when I told you my vision of starting a separate one, Manny Vitale's Wolfpack, and they're like, well, why don't you just put them all together? And
No.
the reason for and everyone does their own thing, and that's fine, just like with our recovery. People do their families and their formats, our platforms are done a specific way. That's great, and it works for them. For me, I do specific things. And again, it's not like I know what the hell I'm doing. I'm winging it from day one, but I have a vision. And well, I told you that story about when I first started doing this I knew I wanted to do podcasts. I wanted to be in a studio. I wanted to keep doing this. And lo and behold, I have this gentleman who is an actor in Detroit, in Hollywood. I'm not going to mention any names here, but he was an actor, producer, director for over 30 years. And when he saw my first 2 shows, my podcast, he said, "Listen, I want to produce your show," which was great, very humbling. But as things started to progress, we did a few shows, as you know. You were
I
my
was on
guest.
one of them.
You were a guest on the show that this gentleman was part of, and there was a lot of interruption as we were doing the show, stopping and saying, "Okay, man, you need to do this, and you need to act this way, and when you're talking, you need to push more on and act this way and more
Mm-hmm. More
emphasis on.
emphasis here. Yes,
And I
exactly.
just was sitting there. It's like, yeah, this isn't going to
No,
work.
it's not. Mm-mm.
And you know what? I appreciate all of the things that he's done because he did show me some different directions to go. Because here's a seasoned actor for 30. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he's been in
Mm-hmm.
shows, he's been in all that, and I appreciate all that. But this is my dream. This is something just like with all the other people out there, that have these awesome the platforms, man. Jared and Brianna at Blacklist. Ian Bick. You've got all these other guys that the Donna and Dan with Hard Knocks and Sober's Cool. The list goes on and on.
Mm-hmm.
Each
Mm-hmm.
one of them have their own platform, their own ideals that set it up their way. And that'd be like me going and telling, Jared and Brianna or Brad,
They need to do it
and
this way.
oh, you know what? Don't do it this way. And for me to tell those guys, I mean, we're talking
Yeah.
heavy hitters here, and there's me telling these guys to do it a certain way. No,
Now, do you know when you do the Ian Bick show, is that going to be a live show or is he going to
no,
tape it?
that's going to be recorded on
Okay.
July 6th. So that's another thing
Mm-hmm.
we throw out there is, hey, can you see any of the comments?
No,
Oh shit!
I cannot. Are there
Okay.
comments?
Yeah,
Let me
Sheila.
fix it.
Happy anniversary. If you're looking about that post that I did, I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about, Sheila, as far as anniversary. That was an old post from over a year ago. So if that's what you're talking about, Sheila, because there's no anniversary for me today, but that post that I put up about, it said, from my deathbed to my fight our war. Yes, Sheila, that was, I don't know, maybe it didn't show up, but on the post, I had to re-edit it. And so it was from a year ago, January the 27th of last year. Yes. So, but thank you though for that. I appreciate that. Was my 3-year anniversary, 4 year.
Yeah, but it's 4 years. Yes, because it's going to be 5 coming
20,
up this January.
January 27, 2020 was my sobriety date. So this January is going to be 5 years for me.
But I think
So,
take what Sheila said and say, yes, every
no,
day is a happy
oh
anniversary.
yeah, that's what I
Every
was just
day.
getting at, but I didn't realize. So I didn't want people to think that.
Kind of
But
you, Sheila.
yeah, so thank you so much, Sheila. I really appreciate that. Because of that, that's why we are here right now. So I really appreciate that. That's why you're here. That's why we met, is
There you
because
go,
of
Sheila.
something so terrible as what happened. A great event happened, which is my fight our war, which is then in turn meeting Sheila, meeting Kyle, meeting the whole, like, Carol just popped on.
Hey, Carol.
So yeah, yeah, here I am doing your job.
But I can't see them until late. They come, okay, so they're
And
coming late.
oh, you can see him now?
I can see them, but they don't come as fast. You see them before I
Okay.
do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well
Hey,
then,
Carol.
Sheila is bringing us love from New York. So,
Oh,
you know
right.
what,
How
Sheila, we're
nice.
going to be buzzing right by you in a week or so when
Connecticut.
we're heading to Connecticut,
Yeah, 5, 6, 7.
July 6th. I'm going to be a guest on Ian Bick's show in Connecticut. So definitely looking forward to that. So, we'll be waving to you, Sheila, as we're heading to the studio.
But why I asked about how his show is, because he's going to record it.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
what you do, all of your shows are live and unedited.
And
Part of your charm, because you're comfortable with that.
and the thing
Because
is,
the rest of it sounds almost, I hate to say it sounds fake, but it just sounds when you're editing. Now, then you're cutting what could be really fabulous things that's going to be on the cutting room floor. And it might have been a statement that somebody really could use.
with
Maybe. Whatever. Scar
yeah,
Nation, stand up. There you go.
yeah, are you kidding? We got actually next Sunday, Sheila. Next Sunday, we're going to have Josh on for
Couldn't make
to
it last Sunday.
rescheduled for his show. So Sheila, next Sunday at 6 p.m. We will have Josh from Scar Nation. It's going to be a great show. But as far as doing the live stuff, for me, everyone, whatever works for them, man, that's what you got to do. Don't do if you're getting, that's here, I never thought I'd be giving advice on podcasts. This is just weird.
Okay, go
But
for it.
yeah, the only thing I have to say, as far as and it's not even just podcasts, man. Um, if get like when I first started doing this, from day one, when I made my first video, which I didn't plan on doing that either. I was walking around, just taking a little walk, stretching my legs, and I grabbed my phone and all of a sudden hit. It wasn't live. I just hit a video record, and I started just blabbing away about my fight or war, different thoughts, ideas. And I remember saying, I have no idea how this is going to go. I don't know how this is going to go over with all of you. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm doing this correctly, if there's a format, if there's a way I'm supposed to do things, if there's parameters, do's, don'ts, and all that. I don't know, but I'm just doing it. I said, so please, if there's something I'm doing wrong, don't just sit here to be nice and feel sorry for this guy who's making a fool of himself. Definitely laugh at me and have fun, because I'm laughing all the time at myself. But I always said, let me know if there's something I'm doing or I need to do. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it, but I want everyone's opinion so I can sit back and just say, oh, okay, they were right. Or I can add this and add that. But for anyone who is getting involved in anything in life where this is their passion, then you need to do what you're comfortable with. Listen to what everyone else has to say, take their advice. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is, if you got to be true to yourself. So listen
By the
to
way,
yourself, trust
congratulations,
yourself.
Sheila.
I'm
Over
sober.
150 days. Yay.
That is amazing. Well, congratulations right back at you, Sheila. That's awesome.
Woohoo.
7 years of love. Yep. Ty is just, we've had Ty on as a guest, and me and Ty, we chat a lot. We go back between our text messages and her being on as a guest. Ty is, you're talking, I just wanted Josh, Ty, as far as his admin as well. 71.
There they go.
Sheila, huh?
71. Make it another 30 anyway. Go to 101.
Yeah, then let's just keep going. You know what?
Exactly.
And you know what, Sheila? Sheila, thank you for sharing that with us too, because one thing I've always said is, people always, you want to share different things, and unfortunately, people like to gossip about shitty stuff, and you hear about what happened to so and so, and it's like, oh, this terrible stuff. Not here, man. We want to celebrate you.
Yes.
We want to celebrate Carol. We want to celebrate OG. We want to celebrate Josh and Ty and Tyler
and Carol,
and Carol and whoever. And you know what? It doesn't even have to be. You know what we can celebrate? You know what, Sheila? Today's Monday. You're sober today. So you know what? It's another day. So we're celebrating Sheila today. Why? Because why not? You don't have to have a reason to reach out and be happy and celebrate somebody.
There you go.
Yeah. So you know what, Sheila? Thank you. And really do appreciate your input. I appreciate your posts, and what you do makes things so much, it falls into place for My Fight or War, and now falling into, our new avenue that we're going with this new show, the new page, and the new podcast with Manny Vitale's Wolfpack. All it is, it's another format to reach even wider, to go out
wider audience,
because some people, me and OG were talking before we went on the air. People in recovery that I've noticed, and all the people that I've been talking with over the last year, it is scary as hell. And I don't have to tell anyone that, because we've all know that damn deep, dark, scary hole that we don't think we can get out of. I wanted to make My Fight or War as inviting and as warm and as comforting and as soothing, but at the same time to let you know you're here, and we're going to love you, support you. We're going to honor you. We're going to take care of you. We're going to support you and motivate you. We're not going to let other people, step on you. If someone's giving you shit, man, we're going to jump in. I mean, you are not in this fight alone. You have a family full of warriors that are standing here by your side, not in front of you, not behind you. We're right next to you. You tip over, man, someone's going to grab you, pop you up. So we are here as a family to do this, Sheila. So your words of support and stuff like that, are they help so many people, and so please
Yeah.
keep them coming.
And,
Definitely
and
appreciate
she's
it.
got to go. Thanks for stopping in, Sheila.
Sheila, you have a great night,
She's got to
and
go.
we will see you next time. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
Um,
but what I want to go back to what you were saying about when you do your videos, because you do not edit them, that's what makes them feel very authentic,
yeah,
because sometimes you have a bug in your face, sometimes you are crying,
oh yeah,
sometimes you got the wind going, but it's all real, or the ducks and the geese in the background with, off the
yeah.
balcony, but it's nice and it's very authentic, you know.
And that's the one thing with me is it's not like I'm doing anything different. I'm doing me. This is just me,
Mm,
and I thought that I would be choose to do live over recorded, and it's not like
mm-hmm.
this is just me in general, but I love it. I Because I have no clue what is going to come out of my mouth. So when I'm saying shit, it's just like sometimes you'll catch me laughing at some of the stuff I say because I have no idea. It's like, where the hell did that come from? And it's like, can you say that? Just did, you
Mm,
know?
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And as far as like the editing and all that, as far as but the emotions, I've talked about that in the past where, you know what, I've had issues where when I am extremely intense in life and what I do and just my me in general. And, when when I'm discussing something with somebody, and especially if somebody is hurting, if someone's in pain, and if just like I've had people say to me, man, you take this. It's almost like you take this personally against addiction,
Mm-hmm.
and like
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like a
Mm-hmm.
fight. And because I've mentioned that before, and and I do fucking hate addiction, and it is a fight. And addiction is ugly. It's mean. It's vicious, and that's how it's got to be dealt with instead of pampering it and all that. Now of course there's a level of everyone can't be talked to the same level. Some
Correct.
people at different stages, you do need that, kind of comforting, that good cop, bad cop kind of thing where you need all these different levels and everything in between. And I get it. But for me, I've always been extremely intense. And when I'm on a roll, I'm not going to stop all of a sudden, oh, cut because, someone, I'm so upset now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm very hurt and upset, and I start crying in the middle of an interview or just doing a live by myself, and stop it because I don't want to see people cry, see me cry. Well, screw that. You know what? I'm talking about a subject that is so upsetting and so real that, yeah, it's called emotions that we all have, and it
Mm-hmm.
makes me cry. So if it's something and it makes me happy, guess what? You're going to see me laughing and smiling and giggling like a little sissy. If it's something that pisses me off, you are gonna know I'm mad, and I don't care who sees it. And sometimes, I have been known every now and then to use a swear word or two. And
No,
I know. I mean, I
but
said
you're so
shucks.
polite.
I'm so polite. I've said shucks a few times, and darn it. But these things are emotions that we all have. So I'm not, and like you said, man, I'm sitting there with bugs flying in my mouth, and I'm hawking up a loogie and spitting and stuff. And and it's
It's
funny
all real.
because yeah, it's real. And you know what? It happens, stuff happens. And there's a time and place for everything, but at the same time, for me, I'm not going to be something I'm not. And with what was what was my doc?
Doc for
Hmm.
which? Now there's a question.
Yeah, which doctor?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
for the back, for the elbow, for the
uh,
hand, for the
uh,
shoulder, for the hip, for the knee.
Carol, are you
Pick one.
asking who was my doctor? Because what popped up here, it says
His
what
name. It's not like
it
it's a
says.
HIPAA violation.
It says no, no. I'm just saying though. What was your doc? So I'm not sure if you meant
An
who is my
orthopedic.
doctor.
Oh, well, it could be because for spine it could be ortho or neuro, but you had an orthopedic surgeon for your for your back.
Oh, mine
Drug.
was but
Oh, drug
mine
abuse.
was alcohol. Mine, I
Mm.
was drinking a fifth. It started out well. Mine was mainly beer. Mine was. I was always a big time drinker, but it was usually beer and like doing shots and stuff. But then that progressed into hard liquor, and that towards the end, it was basically there was no
Bourbon.
buying. It didn't matter if there was alcohol in it, man. There was no buying before. I was buying a 6 pack, a 12 pack, and maybe a pint. And me and the guys, back in the day, would buy that, and you do a shot every now and then. But mainly it was beers and stuff. And
Yeah.
then as things progressed, it went from like I'm talking about for me in my last year to 2 years, before I got taken to the hospital in the ambulance. By that time, Carol, I was down in well, at least a fifth a day, a fifth and a half. Sometimes if I didn't pass out or woke up again, it'd be almost 2/5 a day.
Wow.
Before I turned yellow and was rushed to the hospital. So that was yeah, that made me as yellow as a banana. And
Even the
so
lady at the store said so.
the lady, Carol, the last day, or not the last day. Well, yeah, it was the last,
Yeah.
my last drink that I bought, or the last bottle that I bought was, and I still go there today. It's still right by my house, obviously. And I still go in there to buy lottery tickets, to buy my hot fries and my pop and my Arnold Palmer and all that. And they're still there. They're owners that I've known for years. And the owner of the party store, the wife, Linda, I remember she was the one that day that I walked in, and I walked up to the counter and I put the bottle on the counter. Or no, oh, that's right, behind the counter. So I asked for it.
Yeah.
She put it down, and she turns around. She's looking at me, and she just leaned forward, and she goes, "Manny, you're yellow." And I didn't say a freaking word to her. And this is a friend of mine that I've known for years. And I just grabbed the bottle and out to the parking lot I went, and didn't give a shit. And just, I couldn't open that bottle fast enough. Are there any other ones underneath there? No.
No.
Um, but yeah, so that was, and it's, you know what? I wonder, I haven't seen Linda. Her husband, Nick, is Percocet.
Percocet and benzos. Oof.
Oh, for Sheila. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
the menu, the menu is there for what it is, and the effect that it has on people. But yeah, that last day, it was bourbon.
Ugh.
But you asked about that, and that's why I
Yeah.
said it didn't matter, because at that point it didn't matter to me. It didn't matter if it was whiskey, if it was vodka, if it was rum, and mixer. What do you need a mixer for? All you do is open a bottle and drink. So imagine that, just grabbing a bottle of rum,
Mm-hmm.
back like the pirate days. And
Yo ho ho.
oh yeah, I mean that was.
Yeah.
I'm serious. That was. I mean, it didn't matter. And it usually went with what I could afford, or what was on sale, what I could get the most of. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah. Carol, alcohol and
I
opiates. What
met.
a rough combination. That's a
I'm a
that's a
I'm a physician's assistant, 18 years
18
at
years.
Bellevue.
Oh
All right,
wow.
man.
Fabulous.
Well, again, another thank you for what you're doing, reaching out and helping so many people. We had, who was that the other day? Then we were in well, I almost said garage talk. The Wolf Den. Remember
Yes. The
Ronald
wolf den.
McDonald House?
Yes. Yes.
Um, Matt? No, not Matt.
Mm-mm.
Shoot.
It was a fella. It was a young. It was a
Anyways,
man.
yeah, I mean, working at Ronald McDonald House, and the
Mm-hmm.
people who their lives have changed. Um, and now, not only that, but reaching out and helping others. We've had people that I've talked to in the past about dealing with recovery and all that, and how they're saying, yeah, people with addiction, it's your own damn fault, and it's selfish, and you don't care about anything, and the word selfish, selfish, selfish. Now at the time of active addiction, well, hell yeah, you don't care about anything, anyone, except for yourself and what you're going to get. But fast forward now into recovery, and those words you cannot say at all, because the first thing we do with the recovery process is, who can we help? How
Mm-hmm.
can I, how many people can I reach out to?
Yep.
So with My Fight Award and Scar Nation and all the uh, hundreds and thousands of other people that are out there helping, man. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Never took it till I was 46 years old. But yeah, I mean, the thing is with addiction, man, there is no starting age. There's no stopping there. I mean, there's no criteria, man. Addiction
Hmm.
comes, and it doesn't matter who you are, man, woman. It doesn't care your race, nationality. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter. It will
Or
attack
your educational
anytime.
level, because look at
Oh
she's a
yeah, man.
physician's assistant. You know, you're on top of the food chain when it comes to education,
Oh
and
yeah,
still it
yeah,
can hit you.
yeah. And the thing is, you just you know with you're dealing with that. People say, well, certain drugs, certain areas my ass. And now, yes, of course there's higher areas and statistics, but you know what, there are no limits. There's
Hmm.
no, well, this area here compared to this area here, well, yeah, okay, there might be a difference, but what'd you just say? Both areas are affected, both age groups are affected,
Hmm.
both, so, but
Yeah, and who wants to have a contest? Because if you did, Macomb County in Michigan, which is where we both live, is the highest number of opiate deaths in the United States. Wow, something to celebrate? I don't think so, but
yeah, so
it's all over the place. It's all over.
but
And young kids, oh,
well,
it's
the
just
thing
sad.
is, you can't. Before, I remember a long ass time ago when they were talking about education. How
Mhm.
young should you go? And I remember before people saying, "Well, you got to start in junior high," and then people were like, "Well, grade
Mm-mm.
school." I mean,
Reach back.
I'm talking a long time ago when
Yeah.
people were like, when you said grade school, people looked at you like you were crazy. Now freaking preschool. I mean, the thing is, you're not, if once you get to the level of understanding and not even understanding, I mean, it's just madness out there. But that's why we're here. And we are survivors, we are warriors, we are strong, and we
Mhm.
share and we give back. And just like Sheila and Carol and you and all of us, Josh and Ty, Brianna and Jared and Donna and Dan and Brad and all of them and Pam over at Sassy the Sober. We are here for a reason, and we've
Yep.
been blessed, and that's why we're here. So it's yeah, and we're not going anywhere. You know what? Last I checked, addiction didn't plan on leaving. So you know what? That
Neither
punk
are
ass,
we.
yeah, that punk ass addiction's around. You know what? We're around. Addiction wants to fight. We're here for a fight. I didn't name it my fight or war for nothing. So, anyways, but so thank you very much for everything, Sheila. Really appreciate your support. It does mean a lot. And as I said earlier, um, sometimes people think, well, I heard so and so's story and it was so intense that my story is not
Mhm.
nearly as captivating. And I don't want to, no, 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 no. If you have a story, tell it, because your story may touch somebody in a certain
Yes.
way that you don't
Yes.
even get. And so please share and take care. Sheila, I will. And I tell you, I've got a double whammy here because, like, Lynn being a nurse and RN here, I had my second back surgery was April 11th when they put the first cage and the plates and the screws in, and they went through my side and my back. All's good. Well, a week ago Friday, when they went in, they went in through my abdomen. Well, it's almost having two different surgeries at the same time. They went in through my abdomen to get to my spine
Mhm.
to do the repairs. So that's fine. But now the protocol is totally changed because now I still have to do all of the stuff, the walking and the exercise for my back. I have to do that. If I don't, it'll affect the recovery of my back. However, I had developed a abdominal bleed, which almost freaking
Took
took
them.
me out. Yeah. And so now I have to be careful not to do too much to affect that. But if I don't do enough, I could affect the outcome of my back surgery. So I'm sitting here doing this juggling thing. But thanks, Sheila. I'm looking at all the different names, but
Yeah.
thank you very much, and I really appreciate that. And we're all tough as they come. One thing that they can say is we are definitely tough, and it takes a lot to take us down. And the thing is, you can't take us down because we will pop up. You know, like I said, we get taken down 6 times, we get up 7. So we are
Mm-hmm.
good to go. But so that's cool. And we love you too, Sheila.
Yeah,
And
Sheila.
but yeah, so we're just basically shooting the shit here, and trying to see what's going on, and between the two different shows and the two different platforms. So Sheila, if with again, I'm not sure what you heard, didn't hear about the platform as far as the Wolfpack platform goes. We we are going to discuss anything from I was just jotting stuff down here, man, from daily things that are going on in our life with daily events, sports, entertainment, health, fitness, travel destinations, vacation sites, hunting, fishing, anything and everything. There's nothing as far as discussions go. By all means, please, if there's something that you feel important enough that you want to discuss, maybe on a very serious, kind of troublesome,
Mm-hmm.
something that you want to discuss, but it doesn't quite fit on some of the other platforms, hit me up, man. Or if you know someone, Sheila, who has something and it's not related at all to addiction. There's no problem with addiction, but they've got a issue with whatever, and but they don't feel that they have a platform. Or I've had people tell me that they've gone to other podcasts and they were like, what, no, this isn't the right platform for what you want, so I'm sorry. So now these people are getting turned away. um my With me creating My Fight Our War, it's what our My Fight Our War is. It's for strictly for recovery and addiction.
Mm-hmm.
That's our sole purpose. And of course, we branch out while we're talking about recovery, because when you're talking about recovery, there's life, there's other things that happen. But what I don't want is something, to have, be advertising My Fight Our War as this recovery program, as this support group for addiction recovery and everything in between. And then all of a sudden have someone pop on who wants to discuss the Stanley Cup Finals and their
Which is
hot
tonight,
rod,
right?
yeah, and their Harleys and all this other stuff, and which is great. That's why that's why the Wolfpack podcast is here, so we can
Mm-hmm.
discuss all that and have people jumping in, giving their opinions about all of that stuff. Because what the reason I don't do that with My Fight Our War is, if we had someone who is on the bubble, they're on that wall, man, about, hey, listen, we want to reach out. I hear this My Fight Our War. They're really good about their addiction and caring and all this. And all of a sudden they happen to pop on one day, and then all of a sudden we're talking about the Stanley Cup Finals and hunting and Harleys.
Mm-hmm.
We're not even bringing up the word addiction or
Yeah.
recovery at all for that whole segment or the show at all. And that person may be like scared to death. And now all of a sudden we just scared that person away because we decided to talk about that on the recovery page instead of recovery. That's the reason that I'm doing it this way. Is you know is we can put anything and everything on the Wolfpack page and still, have My Fight Our War as our safe haven for strictly the recovery, the addiction, and everything that goes along with it. And
Okay,
then,
question for Sheila. Are you
yes,
going to be watching, Sheila? Are you going to be watching the Stanley Cup Finals today? It's coming on at
yeah,
8 o'clock.
yeah. If you're a hockey fan with Edmonton Oilers and the Panthers,
Yeah. Even if you're okay, Ranger fan.
the Ranger fan. Oh, that. Well, is that what she said? I didn't see
Yep.
it.
A huge Ranger
Madison
fan
Square.
thing. Yeah.
With the Gardens, man, I remember as a little kid, hockey is my passion. I started playing
Yes.
when I was like 4 years old, 3 years old, whatever. I can't remember. And just all the way, I loved it with everything that I ate, slept, bled, everything. That's all that
Lots of
mattered.
bleeding.
There was a ton of bleeding. And I was blessed to play all the way through high school. I got recruited by Ohio State, which I unfortunately blew my knees out, and that ended that. But I ended up playing through juniors, and up until my other injuries started taking over. But yeah, I mean, hockey was just, and it's still just something that meant the world to me. The camaraderie. I miss being in that, to be in that locker room with the boys and just sitting there and just that camaraderie and just look between periods, looking at each other, and you're literally looking at each other bleeding and just hurting. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It just, knowing that I'm about to go back to war with these guys, and these guys are going to go to war with me, and it's that the hockey was such a physical sport, and yeah, I love it. But Madison Square Garden, and as a little kid growing up watching Don Cherry with Hockey Night in Canada, and see, like, this is the stuff right now, Sheila, that I'm talking about. Discussing stuff like with hockey to this and that, and there's that's why the two different shows and all that. But yeah, the Rangers, there's nothing like seeing the old Rangers, the original six, Toronto, Detroit, Montreal, and the Blackhawks. Oh, oh, Don Cherry. So yeah, those are the days. And I just absolutely loved it. In fact, I this sounds kind of crazy. Well, not for me, but I always loved hockey. My uncle was a huge hockey player, man. He's the one that skated, and I remember his guys were bringing him home from a game, and I remember being in the living room, and a car pulled up in front of the house, and it was his buddies that drove him, and I saw him get out, and they were helping my uncle. They were helping carry him up to the
Oh,
house, and I remember looking, and he was just covered in blood,
oh
shirt
no.
and up his face, and he took a high stick, and I can't remember his lip, his nose. Anyways, he was sliced open, and I just remember seeing that. And he came in with the fellas, and they were like, "Yeah, it was a hell of a game, pretty physical." He got sliced, and I remember looking at him, going, "I want to play." It's like, and I remember seeing the look on their face, and I remember hearing them say, "Yeah, man, don't worry, Mike." I don't know if they said they got the guy's number, and just whatever. It was just like, whoa, yeah, I'm playing, and so that's what got me involved in wanting to play hockey. See my uncle bleeding, but
That's an odd start. We should get
yeah,
John Bloom on this program.
yes, actually, he is going to come on. So those of you, don't, I mean, is John Bloom is uh, NHL former player, and he's a friend and works out over at Powerhouse with us, and is also on the Sober Family. And I can't remember how many years, but he told me a few times. And John Blum is just he played for the Wings, he played for a couple other teams. But what John's most known for, and I was joking around with him actually a couple of weeks ago, we were in the locker room and we are talking hockey, and I go, John, I can't even tell you as far as your stats and this and that. I go, the only thing that you're known for, John, is the hit on Gretzky, and I loved it because I'm not a Gretzky fan, and and it was just funny. He goes, I played all these years in the NHL, and the only thing people talk about is that one hit. He goes, I played more than one shift, but yeah, but other than that, man, it was good times. But so other than that, man, if it wasn't for Sheila, we'd be sitting here chit chatting for ourselves and Carol. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, but that's all right, man. Just little baby steps, getting things going and organized, and getting the word out there what we're doing. So that's that, man. We can even well, we didn't even get to talk about your how many people you hurt in your golf outing. How many people did you
Oh,
hit?
you stop. No, I won. I look. I won money. Okay, I'm just saying. I won money.
On most
Okay.
civilians hit, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
Well, how many people did I hit with a golf ball? No, that's
Yeah,
okay.
because it said how many
Ah.
birdies. You said no birdies, and I said how many people. You said you didn't get any birdies, but you got people. So, anyways, if those of you don't know, the OG here went on a golf outing a couple weeks back with her
Mhm.
girls golf outing, and so it was
It was a
it
great
was
weekend.
yeah. She got the most snowmen. Wasn't it the most
Yeah,
eights?
but they might not know what that means. But I have Okay, well, let me defend myself. I haven't golfed in a year. Okay, and then for the first day out, and for the 18 holes, and one of the prizes was who got the most eights, and I got nine eights. Okay, so it's like, and somebody said, "Aren't you ashamed to even say that?" I said, "Look, I'm gonna win $20. I don't care. I earned those eights. It was hard work.
So that was in the front nine or back nine?
So it was both nines added together.
Oh, I thought it
Funny.
was
Oh,
just in
wait
the
a
front
minute.
nine.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, no, it could be just silly. Yeah, no, it was great though. Normally I would end up in the sand, but I did not get that many sand shots this year. But
That's
mm,
I don't know as far as if golfing is ever going to be in my future with my shoulder, my back, and
ooh, your
everything.
shoulders probably not.
But we back in my golfing days, whoo, well, that old saying, when I first started golfing way back a million years ago, they're like, "Come on, man, we're going golfing." Like, man, I don't know how to golf. They're like, "Do you drink?" Yeah. Okay, well, you golf.
No,
Just like bowling. I don't know how to bowl. Do you drink? Yeah. Okay, you golf or you bowl. So yeah, we used to have so much fun, man. And well, I told you about that one time when I'm sure you have to yell for quite a bit,
mm,
when you're hitting the ball.
when
Yeah.
you're drink, not me. I couldn't yell. Remember, my throat was kind of going. My
Well,
voice was gone, so it was kind of dangerous.
for me, man, I remember that one time golfing, and I don't even know what the hell happened, but there were people. I was hitting, and I looked, and there were people up to my right. And of course, for any normal golfer, they were in a safe range. But if you were on, if you were on the course, you didn't even have to be on the same course. If you were in sight, I could hit you, with with some of my shots. And I remember these guys were maybe 100 yards from me, maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. So I let this one rip and I hit the sucker, and it just, instead of going to where I want, it went like I don't know, completely the other way. And
On the
I just
next
remember,
fairway.
oh shit. I mean, the next county. And the thing is, of course, proper etiquette would to be yell for. Well, it may have been the Bud Light, the Crown Royal, me just laughing my ass off about the shot, or everything combined. So instead of me yelling four, I yelled, "You got the ball!
You got some ball.
You got the ball!" I have no idea what it means, what it said. I don't, because all I remember saying it, and my brother Jay was golfing with me, who is usually just as crazy as I am, was standing next to me and turns around and he goes, "You got the ball?" And I'm like, and I go, "Well, they looked and they ducked." So, but yeah, yeah. So when I golf, it was, we had a good old time. But
It's a dangerous time for your golfing.
oh man, I mean the things. I mean, I remember playing the shooting gallery over at Maple Lane and shooting the ball over the fence, hit a car. The
Oh,
car hit the bumper hit on such an angle where it deflected back into the fairway. So it went over the fence onto 14 Mile there by Maple Lane Drive, bounced, hit the car coming the other way in the bumper, glanced back up in the air, back onto the fairway. I think I got a par. And I'm not kidding.
oh my
And,
god.
and then another time we were playing Hickory Hollow, and you got the Sycamore or whatever it is right next door. So of course I blast one over that fence they have right down the middle and damn near kill the golfer coming the other way. And as we're all laughing about it, so of course my one buddy Matt, who is bitching and, "Oh, that you gotta take a drop, you gotta take a drop." Well, the guy's sitting there, and as I'm walking up, he grabs the ball and he whips it back over the fence onto the fairway.
Ooh.
And I'm
Oh,
like, I'm lying
I'll
one.
take it.
No, man, it's where the ball lies. And you can't. Oh, he'd get so mad at us, but it's fun.
See that you're a
So that's
PGA
an
rule, yeah, follower.
yeah. So that's another topic for the wolf pack, as well as pretty much anything and everything, Carol. So, Carol, if you can think of anything you want to add to our stories, as far as bringing it to the new podcast, the Manny Vitale Wolfpack podcast, feel free, man. Yeah, if there's something you want to talk about, I mean, on a serious note, as far as something that is on your mind, something that's bothering that you do want to share, by all
Or
means,
something silly. Or something
or
silly.
something silly, or something, current events. Like I said, I just rattled off a couple things, and I'm not kidding, man. Sports, health, fitness, travel, vacations, vacation sites, home improvement. It doesn't matter. They're just whatever. That's what this part is going to be about. I
Mm-hmm.
want to give I want to give an exit. I want to give an out for people who are getting a little bit overwhelmed, and maybe they need a break from the recovery. Maybe they want to
Mm-hmm.
get a break from the addiction, from hearing the stories, and are getting a little bit too overwhelmed and maybe a little bit panicked by it all. To give them this release, that instead of having to sit there and wait, to see where they can go to next, you don't have to wait. Get a hold
Mm-hmm.
of me. Let me know what you want to talk about. We'll throw you on the wolf pack and we'll have a riot. We'll discuss
Yeah.
it. We'll shoot the shit. We'll sit there. I mean, we've been talking for an hour now about wow,
Nothing.
yeah, just
Everything. Nothing.
yeah,
Something.
about a little bit of everything. So, um, anyways, Carol, thank you. Sheila, thank you. And that was just it. Just Carol and she.
Is that who's left?
Yeah, that's all there was. Well, then again, who knows how many people, if anyone else was watching, hopefully other people were that just didn't chime in.
Well,
Um,
see, and that's what was saying earlier. How when I talk to different people, they'll talk about you like they know you, or they say, I like your video where you had at the gym with everybody exercising. I'm going, well, you don't never say anything, but that's okay. You don't have to say
yeah,
anything as long as you're enjoying it. Then
that
that's good.
that's exactly it. You don't, that's the wonderful thing about My Fight or War, and now with the Wolf
And the
Pack.
wolf pack.
You don't. There's nothing that you have to do. You don't need that added pressure, man. You want to come to My Fight or War and never tell your story on a video. You don't ever want to tell
Okay.
your story on a post. You just want to kind of sit back and chime in on other people's stories and comments. That's beautiful. Feel free to do that. You want to pop on all of a sudden one day, kind of like I did. I was taking a walk, didn't plan on it, and all of a sudden, bam, grabbed my phone, sat down, did a video, and I posted it. If you all of a sudden one day decide, you know what, man, I want to do that, message me. Let's talk about it.
Mhm. Mhm.
We'll chit chat for a while. I'll get you at ease, man. We'll just, and it's all it is. It's two friends talking.
Mhm.
That's all it is.
Well, on
And
yesterday's, it was Tyler. I believe it was Tyler who was saying how it's like you're giving him the energy to do that because he's been kind of afraid to do his own podcast or
yeah,
go
Tyler.
on live. Yeah, I think it was Tyler.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah,
And
because he's getting his own equipment now, and
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so and that's kind of like how I did it, just listening and kind of observing until that one day I said, I'm jumping in. And you know me, I don't do anything half-ass. I don't do anything like, well, I'm going to slowly get involved.
Mm-mm,
Well,
no,
maybe you should do this first. Where's Manny? Oh, he's already in.
he's
Yeah,
already gone.
yeah, he's already gone. He's on lap 2. Um, so
Yeah, yeah. You need a
but
circle light and a phone. What's a circle light?
that's yeah, that
There
was
you go.
Dan and Don from Hard Knocks. I'm sitting there with this tripod that was broken. As I'm talking to him, the leg was going out and it was sliding. So I'm sitting there going like this, following the camera. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing great, Dan. Thanks for having me on the show. I really appreciate it, guys. Hey, and I propped the thing back up again. And then the light went out. It's like, yeah, man, I suggest you get a circle light and all that. I'm like, cool. What's that? It's a light in the shape of a circle. Who fucking knew?
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I went from that to this amazing studio, of course, because with everything, all the help with OG and everyone else, with the Quinn and Jeremy and their help to be here now is a dream.
You got a nice
So
studio. You
this
have a
is
nice studio.
no, it's a beautiful studio. It's a
Yeah, oh,
awesome studio.
excuse
It's
me.
a
Yes,
magnificent studio. It's a
yes, yes.
badass studio.
There you go.
It's My Fight Our War and the Wolfpack Studio. It's
Mm-hmm.
everyone out there's studio. It's all
Mm-hmm.
of ours. It's everyone's watching their studio.
And
So,
eventually, you're going to get a backdrop for the Wolf Den.
yep, this
Yep,
here,
it's going to be so nice.
when this one here with back out, of course, is our logo with My Fight Our War. The Wolf Pack podcast. I have a different setup already because they are two separate ones. Be waiting hopefully sometime this week for that. So I'll be looking for that hopefully this week and be able to show that to you guys in the very near future.
Mm-hmm.
But well, OG, it looks like it's going to be it for the night, but we've already gone an hour.
Yeah, well, we
So
got to get ready to watch the hockey game.
the game's on, man. Going to watch Game 7. It's going to be a good game. Looking forward to it. And
Dinner? Are you going to eat?
I'm going to find something in
Protein,
there
healthy
and
meal.
munch on something and just relax
There
and
you go.
watch that with Wonder Dog Susie.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone's out there right now watching who didn't chime in or anything like that, who is watching right now, please, by all means, if there's something, a topic that you want to talk about on the Wolfpack,
Or want us to
please
discuss? Yeah.
just let us know. Send me a message, send Lynn a message, and we will talk about it. If it's something that you want to discuss on My Fight or War, please do the same. That's why we're here to help and to talk and to, just let shit fly, man. Like I've said
Mm-hmm.
before, man, this is here. We are here, not to, shut people up. We're not here to put restraints on anyone. We are here to bust those suckers off.
Mm-hmm.
So
And just
let's
think,
call it a night.
you have two more friends that you didn't know you had. Plus everybody that's chiming in online. But you know, Manny, you've got Manny for a friend. Lynn, you've got Lynn for a friend. Isn't that great? You can't
Yeah,
have too many friends in life.
just like with Lynn's people that she works with that are talking, I've never met them and they're
Mm-hmm.
asking her about me. So whoever your friends are at work, Lynn, tell them I said hi.
Will do.
And thank you for watching us.
Okay. Yes, exactly.
All right, OG, we're gonna end this stuff. So thank you for popping on and with all of your wisdom as always.
Always a
And
pleasure.
we will well, actually I'll see you at the gym in the morning. I'll be
Bright
there
and early.
bright and early and I'm gonna pound out some chest and tries and see what happens.
And I got my core work tomorrow.
All right. Well, until then, I'll see you tomorrow. And
Good night, Sheila.
all
Good night, Carol.
you guys have a great night. Love you guys,
Bye.
and we'll chat soon.
Bye bye.
Bye.